Aloha, everyone. Ronnie Landis coming to you live, and I just got done giving a full on 4, almost 5 hour workshop and lecture over here in Kauai to a packed audience of just health enthusiasts, people that were inspired and really activated to take the next steps in their progressionary journey towards evolving their health and themselves in the process. And it's interesting the insights that have arisen through me. It's only been about 3 hours since that happened. And there's a lot of amazing gems that have emerged through me just sitting here laying down, integrating all of this before I go out to this dance party to go see my brother Elijah Ray perform and, be in the magic of that ambiance. But before I do, I wanted to share a quick message, I'll make it as quick as I can anyways, about the nature of life. And that is kind of an interesting idea in of itself, but the thing that I want to pinpoint is that life is as long as we want to make it if we don't waste it. This is such an important concept, and I drilled this into my lecture, and I think I tend to drill it into all my teachings because it's a profound wisdom that if we learn to really adopt an immediate action-orientated philosophy towards life and what we're creating as our legacy and how we're conserving our life force, our yin life force that is, and how we're utilizing every single moment that we have available to us, life becomes a lot longer. And I want to drive this point by reading a quote out of my book, The Inner Alchemy Youthening Program. And this is by Seneca, the famous Roman philosopher. And this is a quote that hit me when I first heard it years ago, or a couple of years ago when I first read one of his books. It really hit me, and I had to think deeply about this. And the quote goes like this: "You act mortal in all that you fear, and immortal in all that you desire." What an interesting quote. What does he mean when he says that? Well, the way that I took it is that typically we live in a convenience-based reality, so it's very convenient to take our time to incrementally step forward towards our dreams, or in a lot of cases put our dreams so far into the future that we never really get going. We don't really value our time, essentially. And what he's saying is that we act mortal in the things that we fear. So we allow the notion of fear to cause us into action. For example, April 15th, what's that? Taxes. You got it. People are very anxious about something like that, and they have such a program imprinted onto their psyche. It's something that forces them into action, that they have to get it done. Otherwise, there's going to be these catastrophic implications that come if they don't do that. Things like this, paying our bills on time. When we're about to lose something valuable to us, or the thought of losing it, then we act. But what Seneca is saying is that the things that we desire, we tend to think that we have all the time in the world. In the things you desire, you act immortal. We tend to think that we can put our dreams, our visions, and our goals on the bookshelf and just leave it there for a while. And to some extent, this is true if we're integrating something, we're incubating with an idea or a strategy that we want to put out into the world, but that's not what most people do. Most people have the when-then theory. When I get to a perfect place, then I'll be happy. When I have a certain amount of money, then I can take action. And this is a philosophy that I have seen cripple people's dreams, corrode their spirit, and essentially cause them to be in an illusion of what they can create in the world by simply doing nothing, right? That's kind of what I'm driving forward here, is that you can't just sit on your laurels, right? You have to take action. You only learn to fly when you're forced to jump off the cliff. The wings that enable you to fly and soar in the clouds have to be forced out of you, typically through some kind of event, some kind of type of stress, some kind of pressure that is thrusted upon you, and then you take action and you morph into your avatar like nature. You start to exemplify characteristics of courage and perseverance when some kind of pressure is placed upon you. That's usually how people operate, typically, but there's another way to go about it. Is a very tactical, strategic type of idea is that you have a goal, you have a vision you want to create, right? You're turning your life into a masterpiece, piece by piece, and you're taking daily action. You're planning, you're creating strategies, but you're in motion. You are moving forward in the pursuit of what you want to create, and you're not living in this naive assumption that things are just magically going to form together when all the circumstances are ideal and you feel comfortable enough to take the next step. I'm sorry to say, it doesn't really work like that. Now, I want to read a quick passage I also put in this book, this chapter called The Secrets of the Immortals. And what an incredible chapter that is. But one of the introduction paragraphs that I quoted from Seneca's book, Seneca on the Shortness of Life, goes like this. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested. But when it is wasted in heedless luxury and spent on no good activity, we are forced at last by death's final constraint to realize that it has passed away before we knew it was passing. So it is. We are not given a short life, but we make it short. And we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it. Life is long if you know how to use it. This is the most profound teaching that I could relay in any topic, and it directly relates to our health. If we know how to use the resources that are presented to us in any given opportunity, any given moment, we become immortalized in a sense. We create a legacy out of our life every single day by the brushstrokes that we're weaving in the tapestry of our life, moving forward in motion, being active participants in our life, opposed to being observant spectators from the stands watching other people live their life. Life is long if you know how to use it. I would really love for you to take that piece with you and meditate on that. I'm going to say it one more time. Life is long if you know how to use it. It's not a matter of having more resources. It's a matter of being more resourceful with what you have. There's a great opportunity in not having a lot too soon. If you have a lot of money too soon, but you don't have the psychological fortitude and the emotional IQ, the emotional balance to know what to do with all that money, you'll be like so many people that win the lottery and 5 years later, they're actually worse off because of it. If you know what to do with what you have right now, the Creator will give you more to make more use of. Look in your life right now at what you're not utilizing for the highest good and start to work with that first and foremost, and then you will be presented opportunities on how to evolve your life moving forward. Aloha.